Hi, it's George here from the Unofficial Controller podcast. Just taking a moment to, first of all, thank you for listening. Means a hell of a lot to us. Secondly, every week we bring you free content, the latest news, the new releases, a feature of note, normally something to do with games or gaming past, be it one of our history of documentaries or an insight into the industry itself, or how games have affected us as people. Well, yes, we incorporate you, listeners, into that. All we ask is that you drop a little comment on our post on social media and you can get featured on the show. Hey, do you know what? You may even win a prize. The only charge for this is £0, 0 pence, $0. That's right, no money. But all we ask is that you like, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you found this show. And if you're feeling a little bit cheeky, tell a friend, get them to do the same. We have a Discord that's free for you guys to all join in and get involved in, and the community on Instagram and Twitter is alive and thriving. So don't be a lonely gamer. Make yourself known. Thank you. And now it's time to begin this week's entertainment. Take care, guys. Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller podcast, your weekly gaming podcast, episode 79, the PS5 hands-on review. With me, George, as always joined by Bobby. PS5 to my Prolapse 5. I had to sink to the gutter to get your giggle out of you. 10 episodes in and it's like, yeah, he laughed. How's it going?
How are you?
Yeah, big week this week. Well, I thought it was going to be a big week for me. PS5 arrived. You were waiting by the door like a dog waiting for the postman to drop the letters through the door, or the mailman or the mail boy or whatever you have.
I watched them come down 30th Avenue like a hawk, bro.
And you grabbed it.
Yep.
And the games or whatever it came with it. And then you grabbed Eva. And just tell the listeners where you went.
We went to Tom's safe room.
Like his panic room.
Yeah. This is not just like, this is like an actual, it's a pretty big room. I would say it's like 20 by 20.
Yeah.
So it's some safe room. Beautifully designed, by the way. He has a refrigerator in here, a little kitchenette. I mean, this is an apartment. This could be easily $2,500 a month for somebody.
Wow.
Easy.
And obviously, because it's been so well constructed by Tom himself, the ex-co-host.
Also soundproof.
I couldn't even get my finger. Like, there's absolutely no way I could get in. So
yeah, because even if you had the code, there's top and side locks. So you have like that wheel you spin, and it's like a X cross. Bam, locks the door.
Wow.
Ain't nobody coming in here, bro. It's amazing.
Well, before we find out what you've been playing in there and what I've been playing out here, we'll give the fans a rundown of the show. So coming up, we've got the news. There's some amazing news in there. There's some Yakuza Sonic hybrid news. After that, we've got the feature, which is our hands-on review, or Bobby's, because I've been playing. Well, you find out what I've been playing. And then still, because the election rumble's on here, there's no Stingray, but we'll make a promise to the hardcore listeners, Stingray listeners, viewers, listeners, whatever you are. We'll do an episode dedicated to that at some point in time soon when we get our hashtags back. Hashtag free our hashtags, which obviously can't trend because hashtags are banned.
Yeah.
Then we'll do Stingray, the real deal. Jumped up 5th of Main. He's got a boot full of PS5 and Xbox Series X games, so it's exciting. The first next-gen rustle through of Stingray's boot. And then the show ends when I ask Bobby what he's hoping to play. But the show... Odders, my little friend, grip that wheel. The show cannot begin until I ask Bobby. Bobby, what you been playing?
I've played a little bit of Mutant Football League, just knocking out the last couple trophies in there.
Is that a PS5 game?
No, it's PS4.
You sicken me.
Yeah.
You ran in there with a PS5 and played PS4 games.
Yep. And then I got the platinum for Rogue Company, so that was pretty good. And then I played a little bit of. Well, I didn't play. I got the platinum for Astro's Playroom, the
Ooh.
PS5
Well,
free download.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good. I
Well, we'll
downloaded
save
the.
that.
I didn't play it, but I started up that Bugs Snack.
Bug snacks.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll save all that talk. Is there anything else you've been playing?
that's really it.
Right. Okay.
I have Valhalla, but didn't play it yet.
Oh, right. Oh, you see the open wound that I've got on my body? Why don't you rub some granular sea salt into it, eh? Poor old me. Tell you what I've been playing, okay? Alien Trilogy. Oh, wait, rewind. Sometimes I forget what with the show's Discord and all, and if you're not on there, you need to get on there because that's where the conversation continues outside of the show. All the listeners, regular contributors are all there. If you're part of the team, well done, level up. And there's a leaderboard as well. So if you're competitive and you want to win something, you don't count though, Bobby, because I know you like to collect things and win things, but surely a co-host of the show can't win the Unofficial Controller Discord chat league.
No, 100% can't win, but I'm still first place.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Well, as I say, I forget. I forget because the conversation continues. But I mentioned on there, in some section of it, somewhere, that the past few weeks GTA 4 has been glitched and I can't move it forward. Well, I don't know if it was glitched or whether I was just a complete nincompoop. But the good news is, I've finally drawn my thumb across his throat. That's the kind of sign language sign, Bobby, for kill. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kill. It's not the sign language for sore throat. That's the sign language for kill.
Kill.
Okay? Draw your thumb across your throat. So I've done that. That was done. And I was relieved. It played out really well. And, the end sequence is a bit anticlimactic. But I think most end sequences are anticlimactic in games and movies and TV series. It's because the journey is better than the destination. So I got that finished. And then I really didn't know what to play. I've been playing through a little bit of the original Uncharted on PS3. Yeah. I'll go 2 gens back while you go 2 gens forward. That's fine. What else have I been playing? I was playing that through with my son. Popped over to New York to visit us. So that's
liked it.
Interesting. Yeah. You weren't around, so it was safe to bring him in.
Yeah.
And I've, which, by the way, that's still as much rip-roaring fun as it's ever been. That first one,
it's great.
First one, there's lots of refinements since that have made it better, and on PS3, it still looks great.
It does.
Yeah, on 4K TV, it still looks.
No, you'd be surprised how many games from that era, even the Xbox One, 360, some of them look phenomenal.
I completely agree. I think we've kind of hit that limit now where it's only very small gains.
Yeah.
If you're willing to overlook some of the small granular detail, you'll find an enjoyable game. 20 years worth of those bad boys. So I've been playing a little bit of that. Been playing some Yakuza 5 because I've got a save. So I'm playing through, at the minute, I'm in the section where you're Haruka and you're playing through trying to become an international pop starlet in Japan. Yeah, in a Japanese crime game, you play as his stepdaughter. It's all interwoven. One thing I'd say about it is the storytelling is absolutely, it's just first class. Or at least akin to a soap opera anyway, as I always call it. But when you're playing as a rookie, you have to go on like fan meets where you have to shake fans' hands. You have to go on photo opportunities where you need to go have like pose of photos with them. Each different one has these different gameplay tropes where you have to make the fans happy. Fascinating section. And then you obviously go on the TV to do the live show, which is fantastic. What else have we been playing? Did I say Alien? Alien Trilogy on Alien Trilogy on the PS1. with the cross-directional pad, the original digital pad, the D-pad, controlling that's a chore. I mean, I
That's
don't
like
remember it.
26 years old, that game, right?
I guess it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my mind's eye. When I played it, it looks this certain way, and I put it on, and I was like, oh. But do you know what? It's still got atmosphere. It's still got
Mm-hmm.
presence. It's a little dark in places, but obviously that's part of the ambiance, and that
Yep.
hides some of the graphics. But the sounds are good. The intro movie looks terrible now, but it still conveys the image of what you
Yeah.
want it to be. Until the characters get out the vehicle and go in, you don't, or you see Bishop there, not really looking like Bishop at all, but looking like a very polished potato.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, do you know what? It's still pretty fun. And that's what I've been reduced to since you scurried off like a dung beetle with a freshly laid log. I guess, Bobby, in a roundabout way, as eclectic as ever, that's pretty much everything we've been playing. Unless
Mm-hmm.
obviously you're saving the PS5 talk for the main feature.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say it's time for the news?
Let's do it.
We scoured the very darkest regions of the internet to bring you the latest stories. First up, do you want this one, Bobby?
Okay. Vaping is bad for your Xbox. Just a day after the official launch of the Xbox Series X, one thing seems to dominate the conversation on Microsoft's next-gen console. A series of viral videos allegedly depicting a major overheating issue as thick clouds of smoke were desperately expelled through the console's top vents. The makers of the videos claimed that the Xbox Series X had grown so hot that the components inside were literally seconds away from catching fire. I spent the last 2 weeks with the Xbox Series X, testing out everything from its excellent load times and 4K 60 frames per second visuals to its backwards compatibility and game-changing quick resume feature. Throughout my time with the console, one thing I didn't encounter was any overheating issues. At the very least, there was never a moment when I had to nervously glance at my fire extinguisher while using the console. The Xbox Series X can get a little warm when it's pumping out 4K visuals, but that's about it. Overall, the console's single whisper quiet fan does a great job of keeping the console cool, and the monolith shape and size of the console was clearly designed with airflow in mind. I don't have any fancy thermal camera to measure the console's heat levels in precise degrees, but you could check out this excellent breakdown from Digital Foundry, which reported no heat problems with the console. The point is that the smoking videos, which I'm not going to bother posting here, had to be fake, a way to troll Microsoft, gain internet clout, and send the Xbox hardware design team into a panic, or simply give the PS5 an early lead in the next-gen console war. Unsurprisingly, the videos were indeed debunked by one Twitter user who demonstrated how easily you could make it look like the Xbox Series X was on fire. All you really need to do is vape.
That's true. Have you seen these videos?
It's just unbelievable. Dumb.
Well, let's just let everyone know that this week's the PS5, and next week, as we've alluded to there, in conjunction with Downright Square, we are going to bring you the Xbox Series X and Series S hardware reviews.
And my neighbor has it as well.
And your neighbor has it. So once we've done with that, we're going to you'll be able to go straight to Downright Square and read that wonderful set of reviews there. So we're very excited about that. What is it with the launch of new consoles and silliness like this? Or was it just a joke that got a little bit too much attention and got out of control? One thing I would say, two questions. Well, there's one question for you. Mm-hmm. My second question, vape smoke is surely full of sugary vapor that you really don't want to blow in high volumes through the center of your very powerful, very new console.
Imagine having enough money to buy a brand new Series X. And then imagine trying to blow smoke into it. I mean, how dumb?
I can't even begin to imagine how dumb.
I don't understand. I would treat that bad boy with the utmost respect that it deserves. And try not to blow anything through it or put anything on it or near it.
Well, why would you?
Because you just want to make a stupid video to get likes. And then, to start fanboy wars.
People are silly, aren't they?
Sure are.
Yeah. When I first saw the video, I was like, oh my goodness.
But I knew something was not right, because you don't think the Xbox team was testing all these things?
Well, exactly. And that's what made me think that
Yeah.
something's gone seriously
You
wrong there.
know that the Xbox, at least Series X, has been out, not publicly, but at least, 3-4 months? Testing and playing and doing all the other stuff. They're not going to release a console like that, man. That's foolish.
I mean, even if they released one, an Xbox or PS5 was released and it ran dangerously hot 90% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it happens, but
they'd never release one that then set on fire.
No.
That would be insane.
It happens.
But now, like I say, I can't make up my mind whether it was a joke.
I think it was just a joke just to be funny. Like TikTok now. Everything is supposed to be funny. And everyone's a dancer.
Well, here's another thing. So next week, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S hardware review in conjunction with Downright Square. I forgot that name right. I always get nervous. I get it down pat, and then I get on air, and I'm like, oh, is it Downright Circle Square? Oh, God.
What do you have? You guys have Downright Square dot... What is it for you guys? They have a UK something?
.co.uk.
.co.uk, yeah.
And on top of that, so the loyal Finster and the mighty Comic Pictures, aka Adam, the artist, are producing those reviews for us as we speak.
Which created a new website, Redbubble.
That's where I was seamlessly linking to. So you can go to www.redbubble.com/people/comic pictures, no space. That's not no space, not Comic Pictures, no space. It's Comic Pictures, all one word, /shop. And you can get yourself Unofficial Controller Podcast merch. One of my favorites, the pillow. Okay? You can get the album art and a pillow. You can get a mug. I think going forward, okay, the prize won't be something from Adam's shop anymore. It's going to be some Unofficial Controller merch. And that ranges from the normal to the extremely bizarre. Like, you want to get a face mask? Get one. Okay? You want a travel mug? Fine. You want a set of underpants with Unofficial Controller Podcast on? It's doable. Okay? If that's what you want, maybe we'll just start with a mug. Maybe. I don't want to be the podcast with a reputation for sending out underwear.
Get some flip-flops.
Official Controller flip-flops.
Some belt buckles.
This is that moment where Adam's like all hot under the collar. It's like, oh my God, no, don't say that, because I can't do that. Stop it, guys. I
don't know what you can actually do, but I know that it's an amazing, pretty cool website.
We'll work it out. Unofficial Controller mug, I think.
That pillow was fire, though.
That pillow. When
I saw that pillow, I was like, I got to stick that in this house somewhere.
Absolutely.
And the yellow just is, bro, any couch you got, throw that bad boy on there.
Do it. Well, on that note, go check it out, listeners. Go check it out. Next bit of news, I think we've put the vaping Xbox to sleep. Next bit of news, WebAware. There are definitely some glitches on the PS5 system software which are causing issues. While we've encountered the rebuild database bug in conjunction with the external hard disk drive, the vast majority of people seem to be getting this when putting Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered, it's the remastered version, into rest mode. Jeff Gerstmann on Twitter says, seems like putting a PS5 into rest mode while Spider-Man Remastered is running crashes the whole system, forcing that repair your external drive process when you start back up. At least that's how it's been for me the last few times I've done that today. Our recommendation here on the show, maybe don't suspend the superhero title on your next-gen console until there's a patch. You can ensure the game is closed by pushing the PlayStation button and bringing up the switcher. Then hover over Mars Spider-Man Remastered, push the option, and select Close Game. Insomniac Games have been in touch. James Stevenson has confirmed the developer is looking into this issue. Someone stole my teeth as well as a PlayStation 5 this week, this issue. So hopefully it'll be cleaned up over the coming days. What do you make of that? Obviously, you would have thought they'd have stumbled across this issue, but obviously not.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
I'm excited about Spider-Man Remastered. Top news out there for anyone who's Platinum Spider-Man. Allegedly, your save carries over from the PS4. So if you load up, and I implore everyone to play it, even if they've already finished it. So I don't know. I'm in two minds about doing this. But if you import your save from the PS4 through the cloud into the PS5, the trophies drop like rain, friend. It's like bam, 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 platinum, boom.
I might do that.
All the DLC, because I've
got it
platinumed
all.
the game and I've 100%ed all the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
So then it was like, boom, platinum achieved. DLC, bam, bam, bam.
I'll tell you
bam,
what,
bam.
the sound of the platinum, the sound of the trophies are totally different. So from the PS3 to the PS4, the trophy ping,
yeah,
they don't sound like that anymore.
Wow.
Like I know the Xbox had like a weird, it wasn't weird, but it wasn't like a ping. It was more like a
plonk.
Something like that, but like a nice little like, low to high tone type thing. It's not similar, but that's how I would describe the pop-up for the trophies. And then they save your last 15 seconds of the video. So when you got the trophy, it'll record 15 seconds. So you can like post that on
As if
Twitter
the hard drive space isn't precious enough on this current batch of consoles.
Well, you don't have to put it on. You can turn it off. It's up to you.
Fill it up with videos.
Yeah, fill it up, yeah. Because I did 2 videos. I saved them 2 hours just to do some edits. And I deleted them. But it takes up some space, bro. That's for sure.
I want this next bit of news, if I may, because it's Sega.
Go for it.
Sega and Yakuza news. Sonic's 30th anniversary is coming up next year. So how could Sega, if potentially, keep this long-running series feeling fresh? What if it were to hand it over to Exiozuka series producer? What? I want this because I like Yakuza. Yeah. And then I can't even speak. Daisuke Sato, in an official Sega interview recently, Sato was asked what Sega IP he would like to work on that he's never touched. His response, Sonic the Hedgehog. If he was given the chance, the industry veteran says he would likely come up with a different kind of Sonic game. Here's his full response. It's an IP that I haven't come to before. In that sense, I want to try it. Well, Sonic, after all, when you hear Sega, you think Sonic. I'd like to get involved once at least, but for me, the so-called Sonic is, well, if I were to do it, I wouldn't do Sonic as it was. I'd make a completely different Sonic. Sato most recently worked on Yakuza Like a Dragon, has been credited in the past on various other Yakuza games, projects like Super Monkey Ball series, and even F-Zero GX and AX as a stage designer, director. Sonic needs something fresh. It tries 3D and then panics and falls back to 2D.
Listen, what they should do, if I was in charge of Sonic, okay, just think on the lines of Super Mario. I mean, basically, all of his games have been really, really well done. I mean, the guy can go anywhere. He's a piece of paper in the latest game, right? If you have the mindset and make your own Sonic world, just do that. He could still go fast. He could still do things with power-ups and similar. You have to just try it like that. There's enough lore in Sonic that you could do things like that, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
He could still spin on the ball, right? You could do a spin attack on the floor.
I like Sonic, but I think the argument is that they never really decided on one cohesive Sonic.
Yes, because they try to make him different every time, and it fails horribly.
In the original trilogy, he had a certain attitude, but that was linked solely to the games. We had the cartoon on TV where he was something else. In Sonic CD, he was a cross between the cartoon and the original trilogy of games, or the first game, possibly, because it came
Sonic
out
2006. I mean, he had a human love interest. Why?
Yeah.
Just make it another hedgehog or something. Who cares? They could really do. And it won't be the first time that Nintendo or Sega copy from each other. So just make it a small open world with different areas of the land of Emerald Island or whatever, and connect them all.
I would like it if they kind of went back to their roots, so to speak, and consolidated the world of Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and said all that other stuff. Because even in Sonic on the Dreamcast, as much as I love Sonic Adventure, and I'd defend that game wholeheartedly, it's still weird. It's set in a human world, but he and his friends are the only animals.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. That was just odd choice. See, Mario's a human with a human love interest fighting, creatures.
Yeah.
Sonic's just an animal rescuing animals that are caught up in robots from Robotnik.
Yeah.
So you could do the same thing. He could be the big bad. You fight him at each level, a different form like it always is, but make it. Even the graphics don't have to be top notch. It could just look like Odyssey, which looks good.
Yeah.
And create your own world and start from there, and then keep with it. Stop changing it but why did you change the gameplay so much from the last game? Too many ideas floating around to keep him alive, when in reality you're killing him.
They are killing him. Sadly,
it is true.
They are killing him. Yeah. Well, Bobby, like Sonic, you decided he was dead, and I decided the news is done.
Gotta roll on out of here.
So the question, transform and roll out. The question is, did we miss anything? Do you, dear listeners, have an opinion or take on the news we missed? If so, Bobby, how would the collected masses get in contact with us and or continue the conversation?
You can contact us at our Twitter page or the IG page, Unofficial Controller Podcast. You can send an email at questions@unofficialcontrollerpodcast.com. You can join the Discord if you would like. And all that is available from the homepage in the bio.
Let me ask you one question.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like an absolutely fantastic community experience. And this podcast, if you don't mind me saying so, is decidedly just above average. Surely, Bobby, there has to be a charge to interact with the community. Surely there has to be a charge to get your comment or feature query or any sort of question read out on air. Surely there has to be some form of payment transaction to get involved in the Unofficial Controller Podcast, Bobby. Tell me, in dollars and cents, how much all this costs.
Free.
It's what?
It's free.
Do you know, either you, I, or both of us must be insane. So
Imagine something in 2020 is being free? Yes.
Every week we pony up and bring the latest news, the latest releases, the latest new release highlights that are coming out this week. And we bring you a feature of note. Some would say we need our heads inspected. But we give it for free. Well, all we ask is that you leave a review wherever you found this show. You tell your friends. You further the forward charge of everything Unofficial Controller Podcast. And for that, we're very grateful. Don't forget, if your comment on the feature of the week is read out, you stand the chance of winning a monthly prize. And Bobby, historically, that's been a choice of work from Adam Schott, be it G1 Transformers, be it superheroes, be it any plethora of geek culture. It's now going to be something from the Redbubble shop. I mean, one's got to wonder. One of us, if this was the 1800s, we'd be dragged to a sanatorium and electrocuted daily for such insanity. But it's 2020, Bobby.
Yeah.
And this is how things go down. We do
it for the love of gaming, bro.
We do it for the love of gaming. Talking about love of gaming and 2020, it brings us to Q4 of 2020 and the release of the next-gen consoles. We've been lucky enough to get our hands on PlayStation. Well, I say we. You've been lucky enough to get your hands on a PlayStation 5. Normally, you move around at a pace I can see, that the human eye can see. But as soon as that UPS guy appeared at the door, you transformed into the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
From the Warner Brothers cartoon fame.
Yeah. A lot of people assume that I'm slow.
You're not slow.
But that would be a mistake.
No. I tell you what.
Fast.
Stick a PlayStation 5 on the finishing line and get you and Usain Bolt lined up in the traps. Boom.
Watch out, bro.
New world record set. So the PS5 review. Bobby, we're going to freewheel this. Apparently, you're making me nervous. Normally, we have a well-written and rehearsed script that we've read through at least 3 times before we commit to recording. And that's it, listener. This level of amateuristicness is purposely woven in to give this show a feel and a vibe of not being overproduced, although it is. So it's kind of like a fake bag that looks fake, but it's actually the real deal.
Yeah.
Give us, starting from the top, in fact, let's do it this way. Let me interview you. So you get the box, okay? Now, the box, we've seen the Xbox Series X. The box, the way it's presented to you, I have to admit, I'm a fan of. That sort of wrapped with that sleeve around it, Unleash Your Dreams and all that, I thought was a masterstroke.
Beautiful.
The Xbox Series X white boxing, what were your thoughts? It seems like it's like the 4 Pro to me, where it's like a cardboard box and a very thin sleeve.
Yeah, it's like a cardboard box that was probably made, in some factory somewhere that they don't care about tear.
No.
And it's just in there, you open it, piece of tape, you open it, boom, inside there's 2 like egg carton type of protectors on the side.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle, so you just pull that out. Well, you open the box, this little box on top with the wires, pull that out.
Yeah.
Then you pull out the PlayStation, and that's pretty much the opening experience of that. It's wrapped in that white
they wrap all their
foamy paper,
that, don't they?
Yeah. Yep.
My next question is, obviously, so that just feels like they've thrown the PlayStation in a box and kicked it down the road to you.
Yeah, 100%. Because actually, that Xbox box, you probably keep that. I would keep that box. It's a nice looking box. I put something in there for sure. This box, I opened it, tossed it. See ya.
Did you?
Yeah, don't need to keep the box. Keep the box full.
You should have mailed it.
I think if I cried on it, it'll disintegrate.
Okay, fair enough. So the box is the box that the box came in is gone. Okay,
yeah, gone.
I agree with you. Like I said at the start, I think the presentation of the Xbox Series X and
that was well done, bro.
It's slick. Feels like you're getting something special. PlayStation 5. So you've got it out the case now.
My initial reaction.
Yeah. What was that,
bro? This is big. It's hefty, man. It's got some weight to it. Eva was like, "Oh my God, where are you gonna put this?" I have no idea. I have a standard size TV unit, so I don't really need the PS4 anymore. Obviously, because you go backwards compatibility. But I did some rearranging, so I pulled the TV out. I redid all the wires. I try to lay it in the middle. So if you see my Instagram pictures, you'll see I have like the Switch on the right, the PS4 in the middle, and then my little emulator on the left with the cable box, and then the PS3 like on the bottom shelf. So I took the PS3 out. That's in the shelf. That's in the closet now.
The PS3's gone.
PS3's gone. Yeah, I mean, I played everything on it. Unless I get a deal, I'll plug it in, but I don't think that's going to happen. I put the PS4 in the PS3 slot only because it looks really weird empty. So I put it there. I try to put the PS5 underneath where the PS4 was. Doesn't fit.
What was it, the width or the height when it's laid down?
It fit fine until the upper edging of the PS4. That looks kind of like Batman's ears that goes up.
Yeah.
That tower-like look. That didn't fit underneath. So that was the issue there. And I was gonna put it on the right-hand side, but it just looked weird there. So I put it to the left, but I actually had to put it behind the TV. So I brought the TV stand up a little closer. I moved the TV a little bit closer. I moved the soundbar a little bit closer, and it fits very nicely. Lots of airflow, so that's good. But you can't look at it. It's kind of awkward behind the TV, but I know it's there. No one else does. It's like he's like peeping out of my TV like, yo, kid, over here. You know what I mean?
That's...
Like, you can't really appreciate it. I mean, I wish it did come in kind of black, because I think it wouldn't be so... I mean, most of people's TV units that I've seen, you either have that all white...
To that point, if we'd have had a bit more foresight, when we started seeing Astrobot, the design of Astrobot, because he was in Astrobot's Playroom VR, and we saw the VR headset, that was obviously a clear design skew from Sony to say, we're going to go down the route of this white.
I like it, though.
It
Like, I
looks
think
fresh.
it looks really nice.
When I first saw the headset, the VR headset, I was like, "That's fresh. That's
Even
fresh."
the stand it comes with, it's not a cheap stand, man. It's a nice quality stand. There's a screw you put in there for so it's secure.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna tip over. I think it's balanced really well. Like, if you knock that down, you've had to have knocked that down. It's nice and balanced.
Yeah, they've always been. I don't remember what the PS3 stand looked like, but the PS2 stand, I've got one.
Oh, that
One
was
with a
awesome.
vertical
The little purple thing. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's nice.
I thought that looked great.
I stood my PS2 up.
With the stand or not?
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know, for some reason when you can turn a little PS thing, I felt like, for me, I don't know, that's just the way I visioned it. So I had it standing up.
Okay.
All the other ones I laid flat.
Hmm.
I mean, PS4 you had to lay flat. I don't think you could put that vertically.
I don't know. Actually, I think some people do.
Really? I mean, it's possible you could. I don't know. I just feel like the design of it, for me, it's meant to lay.
To me and you, it screams flat, but to some crazy cat, it probably screams vertical.
Yeah, why not? You know.
So the setup was easy. How long did it take to download and install an initial setup?
I don't know, like 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
So day one updates or anything?
No. Right away, boom, everything's ready to go. Which I thought there would be an update, but there wasn't. There was a small update, but I mean, it was like 4 seconds. So that didn't even count. Total time, I was about 15 minutes. I had my PS4 on with, the plugged in. If obviously hardwired, it's faster.
Yeah.
Unless you have like, ultraviolet Wi-Fi speed. I don't know. But I had both of the systems plugged in, and I just disconnected my external hard drive from the PS3, from the PS4.
Yeah.
And I put it in the PS5. That took immediately. So that was well done. And whatever I had transferred, saves and all my user data, everything, transferred to the PS4 while I was charging the controller. So 15 minutes after that, it was ready to go. It restarted. And then, boom, it pops on. The music sounds really good. I like the way it almost kind of reminded me of the PS2, with those like little cloudy things behind it.
Yeah.
So that was nice. The music sounded great. I thought it was interesting. Even my girlfriend was like, "Oh wow, that sounds nice." She was there when I was doing it.
For me, to this day, the PlayStation 3 turning on orchestra is the best one. That is my favorite. I mean,
love the PS1, bro. That was just so awesome, bro. You don't think so?
At the time, it was good. But once I'd heard great. PS3, PS4's all right, but the PS3 to me is...
PS3 is very good. I do like PS3, but I think PS1 was my favorite.
Okay.
Even at the ending, like those little couple last notes on the PS1 sounded really, really, really good.
I was going to try and do some sort of voice approximation with it, and then I was like, "Nah,
I thought about the same thing.
That's never going to work out for either of us."
So I had
you're all set. Yep. You're all set. Controller's charged.
Mm-hmm.
Must have come charged, surely. Or did you charge it to be safe?
I charged to be safe, but it was probably charged because when I took it off to play, because where I was sitting, I had everything pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
So where I was sitting was uncomfortable, so I had to unplug it. But it said full charge on the bottom of the display, so okay, it's probably fully charged.
So you get all that sorted.
Yeah.
Let's skip past the fact that the first game you played on your new PlayStation 5 was Mutant League Football or Road Company.
Yeah.
You freak.
Well, for a note, like I played Road Company on PS4, obviously. Okay, there's very small, if very minor rumbles from that controller, from that game.
Mm-hmm.
But playing it on the PS5, lots of rumbles. And I don't just mean like an N64 pack rumble. Like it's a nice, vibe, I guess, or vibration. So when you jump or shoot, it feels good. But there's no obviously real features for that game for this controller.
Well, that's where we want to skip to next.
Yeah,
so the packing game,
cool.
Packing game, and we implore everyone who's got PSN, if you've never had a PlayStation before, you've got the PS Plus connection, so get that. So you've got a smorgasbord of absolutely belting games. This is your first ever PlayStation experience. You get Last of Us Remastered, you're getting God of War, you're getting Days Gone, you're getting Final Fantasy 15,
Ratchet and Clank,
Bloodborne, Persona 5,
Days Gone.
And Monster Hunter World as well. So an absolute slew of gorgeous-looking PS4 games.
Yeah.
Some cross-platform, some exclusive. What nice kickoff. And don't forget, PS Plus isn't Games Pass. It's their equivalent of Xbox Live.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
although it's probably cheaper on a yearly basis, what is it? You can get a deal for £59, $59. That's actually remarkably generous for what it is.
Yeah.
So if you're new to the ecosystem, grab yourself a $59.99 yearly subscription. That's a nice way of getting a great big stack of games for not a lot of money, I would say.
No, it's true. Yeah, if depending on how you game, that could be your whole yearly game right there.
And especially if you're new to the system.
Yeah,
I think if you're already in the ecosystem, get them added to library, because then you could sell your physical copies if you really wanted to, if you're that way inclined. But this month, they're already giving out, considering it's brand new, they're already giving you a free PS5 game.
Yeah,
in the much lauded the internet memes of Bug Snacks.
Yeah,
which you haven't played that yet, but I'm sure.
Well, like usually for me,
weeks.
If this was like a regular download, I might just add the library, but might not play it. I'm definitely going to play it because it looks interesting. Like when I got the PS4, that game Contrast was the other game that came out for it.
Yeah,
I would never play that game, but because that's all they had, I enjoyed it very much.
Okay.
So I didn't really understand Astro's Playroom, right? I just thought it was like, I don't know, like a small 10-minute demo for the controller. But it's actually like a nostalgic trip platformer, into the world of PlayStation.
To the uninitiated, this is the free game that comes installed on the hard drive, much like the PlayStation 4 had if you got the camera, you could download Astro's Playroom or whatever it was called then, for showing you how the camera interacted with the controller and some other stuff. On every PlayStation 5, you're getting yourself Astro's Playroom.
Yeah.
Which, as you say, is a nostalgic trip. But it also, tell us about how the controller works with that and how that felt to you.
So this is clearly a demo to show you what the controller can do. So I thought it would be like, I don't know, half hour. But no, it's a good 3 to 5 hour game.
Wow.
It's pretty solid, actually. So when you first play the game, they show you what to do with the controller. It can it moves left and right, up and down. You can spin it around. The touchpad is not just on with a touchpad. There's a part in the game where you go into like a ball. So I thought, you'll move the ball with the controller up and down, left, right. No, you move the ball with the touchpad. And I'm talking about, if you're really good with the touchpad, you can spin this ball like a pool cue, and spin it around and stop it on a dime, and very, very precise controls with that touchpad, which I was shocked about. I didn't think that you can get that much control in a little box, but it was really, really well done. There's another part where you become in a monkey suit and you can grab onto ledges. So your R2, L2 trigger, depending on how hard you grip certain parts of the wall you're climbing, you can't just squeeze the R2 down, you break it. So the haptic feedback on the controller is sensitive. So if you just very slightly tap R2 or L2, you can grab the rock without breaking it. So that was awesome, because I didn't expect that to feel like, oh, wow, I'm grabbing it, but lightly. And then the other part, I'm pulling it. And then you bring the controller up and down as you climb. So you like R2 trigger, bring the controller up to the left, L2 trigger, bring the controller up to the right. And it feels like you're climbing. Well done. Didn't have any problems with it. Very accurate for everything. There's a part where you're like on a monkey bar. So you hold L2, R2, and then you can spin like the controller, not spin it, but move it in a circle of motion. So you can perform the spin. And then if you literally throw the controller up, he'll fly up to the next bar, and you grab it with R2. Felt very good. And when you grab the bar, because it's like a rubber bar, as the vibration on the bar vibrates, so does the haptic controller vibrates.
Oh, my.
Like you grab that bar, like for me, I'm like thinking to myself, yo, this is getting better and better. And there's a part where even on the ice, there's an ice level. So as you're skating on the ice, you feel the vibration of if he puts his left foot down, it's a little slight vibrate on the left side. He puts his right foot down, a little slight vibration on the right side. When you jump, you feel a little bit. When he lands, it's a little bit more. So it's very connected with the player and your controller. You almost feel like you are in the game, despite not having a VR set. Shooting the gun, there's a gun he has. You can shoot the gun. Every shot if you hold the trigger down, just slightly, you don't have to pull it down. Just slightly pull it down. The controller, the R2 trigger, vibrates in such a way for each shot. So you almost feel like each shot shooting out of the gun. I thought was great. There's a part in the game which blew my mind because I didn't think this was impossible. It reminded me of like 1987 Nintendo. Okay, there's a part in the game where there's like a little, the little pinwheels you blow as a kid.
Yes.
So there's a part in the game you have to go through. I'm like, okay, so I tried punching it, nothing. The little controller, a video came up on the left hand side of the screen, told me to blow into the controller. So you put the controller where you plug in the headphones, and you blow into there, and the friggin' thing spun. Like I blew the pinwheel. And depending on how hard you blow, how fast the pinwheel spins. So I was like, wow, that's...
So you call them pinwheels, that our UK listeners would know them as like beach windmills, those little things you stick in the top of a sandcastle.
Oh, that's what you guys call them?
Yeah.
I call them pinwheels. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's, those. I thought that was pretty interesting. But every time you do something, jump or whatever, the sound on the controller also is very low, but enough where like you're immersed into the game.
Are we going to liken this? Is this you've got a Switch, and I've got access to a Switch and a good machine. I mean, we're not here to dissect that, but we're here to dissect the HD Rumble.
To me, the Switch Rumble like that? Is just like, you know what it reminds me of? Almost like, I guess, like a PS4 Rumble to the Switch Rumble. It's just like a rumble, right?
Yeah.
The PS5 controller doesn't just rumble. It slightly vibrates in different points of the controller. So I don't know how many vibration things are inside the controller, but you feel it to the left side, to the middle, to the right, to the bottom, to the top. I don't know how they did it, but it feels... Everything you do doesn't just have the same rumble. Depending on what you're doing, it rumbles in different parts of the controller, which I thought was awesome. Even the sound coming out of the controller sounds great, right?
Well, I've heard on the low key that they've made the integration of games, multi-platform games, especially into using the haptic feedback of the controller. Sony have made like a tool that makes it easy for them to do. So I'm hoping that we'll see lots of implementation of this, because I've heard someone was complaining, I can't remember where I read it now, but someone was complaining that when you play Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty with the haptic feedback, their fingers were getting tired because the gun trigger was too hard to pull.
I mean, I can't speak for that, but there's a part in the game where you put on a frog suit. So, I was slightly tapping the button to jump, which works well. But for you to get the spring, you got to pull the trigger down. And there's a little bit of resistance, but it feels like you're springing, like you're pulling a spring down, if I can describe that right. Like, it feels good. It doesn't feel too hard. I'm not going to break the controller. I just pull it down like I normally would pull it down. But you feel the resistance. And then when you let go, he flies in the air. And even that has a vibrate. So it felt good. Like, they really showed everything the controller can do in this game. There's some Easter eggs around. Each level has little Easter eggs, but it's a throwback.
Are you glad that you played it?
Yeah, actually I am. Oh, even there's a part where you glide. So you spring yourself into a glider.
Yeah.
And you glide on a level. For me, moving those things around, I hate them because I never get it right. Like Batman had it when you do the gliding, then you kind of use the control a little bit. This felt way better. And I'm only using that game because I think everybody mostly played Batman Arkham Knight. So when you're gliding, you can bring it up and down to glide him. That was really well done. But this is like way beyond that. Like even the slightest left, he would just make a nice left. Or if you pull it down hard, he would go down exactly. And the vibration, like, it almost feels like you're comfortable with gliding. so you don't really make that many mistakes because you have so much control over the character.
Let me ask you this question then.
Mm-hmm.
Is Astrobot's PS5 Playroom packing? Let's just say you're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You've been lucky enough, and you're probably rich at this point, but you're lucky enough to secure yourself a PS5 for Christmas, but there is no games. You're not mumsy and dadsy saying, listen, we sold your younger sibling into slavery to get you this. So there's no games, it's just the console. I reckon you'd be pretty happy with that, Astrobot.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Plus you'd have Fortnite, right? Okay, so no panic.
Yeah, no, and whatever. I'm sure you would get the PS Plus, possibly. I don't know, but you have free games right there. But for a demo game, I thought it was very well done. Really showed you everything the controller can do, not little demo.
Have you played it with headphones?
I played it with my Sony headphones.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me tell you the model. Hold on. I have Sony CH700N headphones, right? So they're noise canceling headphones.
Are they capable? Did you go in and make it so they're capable of delivering the 3D audio?
Yes. So when you go to the 3D audio section on the settings, they have 5 settings.
Yeah.
The default is 3, but it says every user hears differently. So through the 5 settings, you hear the rumble and the left and right, almost like someone's like spinning around you. You hear like water flowing from the left ear to the right ear to both ears. So you select whatever you want. I picked 2. For me, that sounded the best from these headphones. But I'm sure every headphone set everybody has, one of them would feel good to you. But it does sound really nice, man. Like the sound in the game was cool. Even sometimes when the wind would blow in the game, there's enemies that blow, try to knock you off a ledge. You would almost hear like, because it's not really grass. It's like computer wire ribbing, the green ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
That's the grass. So you would kind of hear those clink together as the wind blew in the headset. I'm like, wow, that's pretty dope sounding, actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So before we launch into a plethora of comments from the...
Well, before we do that.
Okay. There's more.
I put in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
Everything downloaded pretty quick. I don't know if it's faster because there's no updates or it's because it's the speed of the PlayStation. I have no idea. Load times for the game didn't really sound like there was one. When you jump into the world, even if you do fast travel, it just seems like it's part of the game. Seems pretty quick. Like I got there to there, boom, snap my finger, I'm in a new world. No issue. With Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I put the game in, and before I wanted to play it, it said launch PS5 or PS4 version, which I thought was weird because it's a PS5 game I bought. I wonder why it would ask me if I wanted to play the PS4 version. So I'm wondering if people bought the PS5 game, it'll play in a PS4. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it later.
That's an interesting point.
I
tried Coasterworks. While you were in there, I got some deliveries that you obviously didn't want to leave the panic room. So I had Coasterworks, and I actually thought that. I thought, I wonder if they've just stickered the disc and it's just the PS4 version, and when you put it in the console, it'll do the trick and download the version it needs. I put Coasterworks in my Pro, and it didn't do anything.
Okay. Well,
it just said unrecognized media.
I'm gonna try it because the PS4 is still hooked up, so I'll try it, see what happens. So it might be. I don't know. Yeah.
You're gonna put your PS5 Valhalla in the PS4.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? It says unreadable disc. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to say unsupported media. Yeah.
But I just found that it's odd that it asked me that. Which I thought
then you have to go in and redeem the PS5 version, do you?
No, I have the PS5 game.
Yeah, but when you loaded it in, it was like, do you want the PS4 or the PS5
Yeah,
version?
which I thought was like, why would I ask you
So at that point, you selected PS5 and then you downloaded the PS5 version? Or
no, I didn't do download. I didn't play it. As soon as it finished installing, that's what popped up. So
that's annoying, isn't it?
So I clicked PS5, but it didn't start the game. Then once that was done, it said, "Oh, do you want to start a game?" I said, "No, I played Astro's Playroom."
That to me is
kind of weird, right?
That's got to be a plus to the Xbox because that automatically says it doesn't ask you the question. It doesn't force you to download, because technically you could have a PS4 version. I've heard this on the
and you can
street.
you can update it to
At
the
the
PS5.
Spider-Man, you end up with, I think someone bought the PS4 version, put it in their PS5, and it's like, oh, well, do you want the PS5 or PS4? Or it downloaded both to the console, which, considering the space factor. And then when they relaunched the game, instead of relaunching the PS5 version, it launched the PS4 version. And it's like, that's messy. Whereas the Xbox One X and Series X will just go to the cloud and go, okay, I'm an Xbox One X or I'm an Xbox Series X. I will take the file that is appropriate to me, bring it down, and install it into the machine, and then you get a seamless next-gen experience.
Yeah, like I'm wondering if people got the whether you got the physical or digital doesn't matter, right? If you guys downloaded Valhalla on PS5 or PS4, does it say the same thing I got with the disc? I'd be curious to find out.
I find it frustrating that, and there's an extra £10 premium on the PS5 version, for goodness knows what reason.
Well, the game is $10 more.
It's $10 more than the PS4 version, but you could, if you wanted to, and I wasn't sure about compatibility and other stuff and didn't know what was going to happen, so I pre-ordered the PS5 version of Valhalla. I now think to myself, oh, damn it, should I just gone into town and bought on offer the $39.99 PS4 Valhalla and saved myself $20, $10, $20, and then that would be fine. And woe is me, I haven't got a PS5 labeled game on the shelf, but I've got a PS4 game that's got a PS5 game in it because of the upgrade mode. You know what? That to me is a little sticky.
Because if you look like something like, Red Dead, I'm just using this for example. I'm not, because I played them personally. I'm not saying any game, because, Red Dead Redemption or Ghost of Tsushima, even God of War, it looks fantastic, right? How much more graphically upgraded, if you don't have a 4K TV, can they possibly look if it's still a PS4 game on the PS5? Or like an Xbox Series X game versus a One game? How much more updates or updated graphics can they possibly put out there when it's really not pushing full next gen?
Well, we'll find out.
I watched my friend play Demon Souls, and listen, I just went down there for like 10 minutes because he has both. I mean, Demon Souls looks out of this world compared to, the best PS4 I ever played. So I'm really curious now.
Well, we'll find out more next week when the Downright Square boys bring us the Series X and S hardware hands-on. So, yeah, let's see what they say. I'm sure they'll speak to the... I know that Xbox Series X has got that auto HDR, so it can make your colours pop more in other games. And do you know what? That's pretty cool, to be honest with you.
Well, I got to say, I mean, not that Mutant League is the best-looking game ever, but it does look a little sharper. And the loading time is a little bit faster. I did notice that. Rogue Company looks exactly the same. I didn't see any changes in that game. So I guess as I play more, I'll keep updating, I guess. See what the difference are.
Before I ask you to summarize in one sentence your PS5 experience, let's, as always, every single week we put a post up on Instagram and Twitter and in the Discord, and we direct you to the Instagram or Twitter page to leave a comment to get featured on the show. If your comment wins comment of the month, you get a prize. Going forward, it will be from the Redbubble shop. So I have yet to decide what that will be, but we'll decide and you'll get sent it. Simple as that. This week, we asked you to comment on your thoughts on the PS5. If you had any questions for myself or Bobby on the system, not many of you seem to do that. Bada Bingster. Well, why don't you read out C. Pliskin? Because I've got to do Bada Bingster, haven't I?
Yeah. C. Pliskin says, wish I had a PS5. I managed to get a special reservation at GameStop for whenever they are able to get a system for me. But the last I heard was back in September when they said I'll get mine at some point in 2021. And it's still something that is very difficult for me to accept this close to Christmas with 3 crying emojis.
That seems a bit weird, isn't it? He's gone to GameStop. Not weird on C. Pliskin's half, but weird on GameStop's half. He's gone, he's made a special reservation, and The last he heard was September when they said he'll be getting his at some point in time in 2021. That could be sometime between January and December. Are they taking the Michael or what? That's not acceptable.
It's ridiculous. And I'll tell you what else is not acceptable. For the American listeners of this show, okay, Best Buy is great when you go to the store. It's great. Do not order from Best Buy because pre-orders never come on time. They always come 3 or 4 days after, and I'm pretty sure it's because they use UPS, which is horrible. So they say, it's not the first time this happened to me. This is like numerous times. So from now on, I'm just going to walk my lazy ass, a half mile down and just get it myself. There's no need to, I could have just got it, you know? So don't do it.
I was smirking there because I don't know. Gingy's Game Room is currently 2 for 2. I think this week he's going to make. Don't read it yet.
Okay.
He's going to make it 3 for 3. But first up, the Italian Stallion. Bada bing retro gaming. I got a question for you guys. Huh? Can I try a PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 game disc and see what happens? Laughing till I cry emoji. I'm intrigued, and I don't want to try it on my home system when I get one. Which won't be for a while. Sad crying emoji. I like the way he's not even allowing me to do it anymore. He's putting the R. I got a question for you guys. Can you try a PS1, a PS2, and a PS3, and a PS4 game disc? Have you tried that, Bobby? Have you tried inputting a PS1, 2, 3, or 4 game disc? We think we know what will happen with the PS4 game disc.
Yeah, PS4 works.
But what about the PS2? What about the PS3? So what about PS1, sir?
I'll try it.
Okay, sir. By this time next week, after the news, we're looking forward to your answer.
Okay. Up next, we got Mr. Graham.c. He goes, I have to wait a week more, then hope and pray I get one.
You missed an emoji. Don't tell me you don't miss emojis when you miss emojis, you slithering slug.
My bad.
What was that emoji?
It was like a slight teardrop with a frown.
One thing I've got to say, Mr. Graham C reached out. He's had an internal plumbing, not in himself, obviously, in his house. He's had an internal plumbing issue, and his PS5 fund has been savaged. He's paid a plumber. Probably Bada Bings to Retro Gaming. If he was Italian, I've got 2 words for you, Bada Bings. It's time you bought Mr. Graham C a console, but he's had to blow his PS5 fund. So. He's reached out. He's said some very nice things about the show and what it means to him recently. So, we wish you the very best, Mr. Graham, and I hope that somehow, some way, somehow, some bonus money comes in from somewhere out the sky and enables you to ratchet up and get yourself the PS5. God knows you deserve one. Up next, Ginger's Games Room. Now, both of these men, Mr. Graham C and Ginger's Game Room, are leveling up to the Discord. I think Ginger's already in there. He said, well, let's get his quote out of the way. As I'm unable to afford a PS5 at this, you've read it, haven't you, you sneaky rat? You've reread it. Don't read it.
Nah.
As I am unable to afford a PS5 at this time, I've made an OnlyFans account. So I guess my only question is, will you and Bobby subscribe?
I'll subscribe, man. How much is the tiers?
Scratching his chin, laughing till he cries emoji. So,
I realize in most OnlyFans accounts, the more skin, the more money you make, Okay,
so in speaking to Ginger's Games Room, he didn't realize, because he said to me, I can't remember how we got into the conversation, but he said, blah, 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 something, I'm Ginger. And I was like, well, that'll make 2 of you. I don't want to call you Gingers in the Discord. I want to call you both Auburn Awesomes. And then he laughed and he said, is Bobby Ginger like me? I was like, wait, yeah. He said, in my mind, he's a Latino guy, right? When I listen, this is what people imagine. Not everyone. I'm sure everyone imagines someone different. God knows what they imagine I look like. But in his mind, he thought you looked like someone in a Latino street gang.
Mm-hmm. I got the accent down packed. I mean, really, after the 30 plus years of hearing it, I got it down pretty good. But I mean, if you just on the Instagram, bro, even on my own podcast, I was asked so many questions. One guy asked me if I'm African American. I'm like, have you ever seen my Instagram? I have like 900 selfies. You know, it's just one guy asked me if I was Korean, if I could speak Korean. I said, no, I'm definitely not Korean, and I can not speak that language. No.
Perfect.
Check out the Instagram.
Well, you're a very handsome man. As is Gingy's Game Room. I implore
Redheads
everyone.
Unite, baby. Redheads Unite. You know, I did a little before I started doing the platinum things on Friday. I was trying to do redheads in gaming. And that was pretty quick because I think I got about like 6 weeks, and I still getting more redheads in gaming. So we are the minority, man. We need some more redheads in gaming.
Did you have Aloy in there?
I got Tyrus Flare.
Yeah.
I got Aloy.
Yeah.
I had the guy from Journey to Silius.
Yeah.
Redheaded. What else did I do?
Oh, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, I put him in there because I definitely had him. And I can't remember the other guy I did, who it was. It was a Nintendo game. I don't remember. But I'm like, damn, where are we? You know? Where's the redhead, man?
Is Princess Peach right there?
No, she's blonde.
Well, you see...
Oh, you're right. No. No, not Princess Peach. What's the other one? The one that Luigi dates?
Oh, yeah.
Daisy. Princess Daisy. Well, no, she's more brown. She's not really red. That's the problem. And people say I have blonde hair. I mean, have you ever seen a blonde? If you put a blonde next to me, bro, we're not even the same color.
Strawberry blonde.
No, man. It's not the HD camera you have. It's red, bro.
Okay, well.
Get the 4K thing. You see the beautiful, luxurious red hair.
What did you say this guy's called? Good young man?
This is a young adult man.
Young.
And I'll tell you what, man. He could play a beefy guitar, bro.
Can he?
Bro, his Instagram stories, he was serenading I don't know who. I don't know if he was recording himself or someone was holding the camera, but it was very nice.
What's he got to say? What's this? What's young adult man?
He says,
what's he got to say for himself?
Do you think next consoles are just hype? To me, the new Xbox is like a beefy, boom Xbox One. I can't say about the Xbox. I mean, I just saw a little bit of it, but at least for the PS5, I think it's great. I'm sure the Xbox is going to be great too.
Yeah, agreed. Well, there you go, young adult man. That's I think everyone on here. I don't know if C. Pliskin's in the Discord, but Bada Bingster is a very active member of the Discord. Mr. Graham C will be making his entrance very soon. Ginger's Game Room jumped in there yesterday. Young adult man is in there.
Yeah, he's in there.
RGT
as young adult man.
As young adult man, perfect, perfection personified. Retro Gamer Thomas is definitely in there. He says, "Can't wait, chaps! I got my first game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, my spare DualSense media remote." He's gone all in here.
Yeah, he really did.
He's got media remote, camera, pulse headset. Just need the console now. My first impression of the DualSense is its quality. It feels a very well-engineered device, ergonomically superb. As for the camera, nice bracket to help sit on your TV. The Pulse headset feels comfortable and looks fantastic. As they say, though, the proof is in the pudding, and it'll be next week when I see how all this performs. One thing I do like is the design choice and how they all blend in with the console. Very classy.
Yeah.
Fire emoji.
I think it's beautiful looking.
I think now, when the DualSense, this goes back to my earlier comment, you've got the DualSense, you've got the new camera, although that doesn't work with VR, so that's a bit sloppy in a way. But you've got the DualSense, you've got the new camera, you've got the PlayStation 5, you've got the remote, you've got the headset, and you've got the VR. They all look like they're from the same family. Don't they? They've all got that unique design style to them.
You know what they should do? You know that company that makes those controller holders? They have like Crash Bandit or the Fallout guy.
Oh, what, you need an Astrobot?
And to be honest with you, I would never want one, but now I'm like, man, that would be key if they could do something like that. That'd be really dope looking, I think, because I really like the Pit Boy with my controller. The
Yeah.
PS, the one I got custom, looks really nice.
Mhm.
I was hoping for a God of War one, which I'm surprised I never did. But an Astrobot one, boy, that'd be amazing.
Was that Dave?
Yes, that was.
Well,
Dave's
where's he
upset
gonna?
because someone slashed his tires last night.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Oh.
and I do apologize. I'm gonna say here on air that was me.
Oh,
I got the wrong car. So, yeah.
You mistook a yellow taxi for
Yeah,
for red diesel.
last night I had my alarm. It was 3:30 went off. I went downstairs with an ice pick, popped the front left, popped the back right.
Right. Okay.
I'm tired of the drag racing in this neighborhood. It's getting out of control.
Okay. Well,
So I owe Dave a drinks at Trestle.
we're going Trestles after this.
Yeah, I owe him. I promise him the unlimited, which honestly for me saves money because it's only $25 for 2 hours. Thank God it wasn't Friday night. That would have been, a lot of money.
That would have been big dollar.
Yeah.
Harvey Retro, he's messaged in. He says, I'm just getting pretty jealous of the Insta pics of people posing with theirs, and I'm snarling like Gollum. Give me my precious. Laughing emoji. And finally, to round things up, King Lizard says, no PS5 yet. I'll be late to the party. Xbox Series X for me and loving it. I expected a few more questions about how does quick resume work? How do we do this? How do we do that? But you know what? The audience decided, no, we don't want to do any of that.
Well, I mean, I can talk about the menu. It is super different from the PS4. So it took me a little bit to get used to.
It looks a little bit more PS3.
I don't know, but no, not really, because there's not really like an XMB bar. Like whatever game you have playing highlighted, it has that background playing. And on the bottom, there's like some ads. The top has like the store, some other games you might have. Whatever you have in the little top bar in the left-hand corner, it's very small.
Mm-hmm.
But, you can still see what you're doing, what you're playing. And as you click those, other options pop on the bottom. But, like, you know how on the PS4 you would hold down the PS button and then the quick menu would pop up?
Yeah.
There's no quick menu.
You just tap it very quickly.
Yes, but it's on the bottom, and you can customize that. So that was kind of interesting. I did notice, though, that every time I put my headphones on, like, to talk to somebody, I have to do chat audio every single time.
Because it's using the mic and the controller, presumably.
Yeah. So, like, that's for me. I'd rather just, if I'm playing with headphones, I just do headphones fine. But if I'm talking to somebody online, my TV, I'll just lower it down. But I don't want to hear the game in my controller. But you could do that with the quick menu. Here, you have to actually go to the main menu, go to sound, and then go down and click the headset chat only, which I find kind of. I mean, it's still new, so maybe they might do a little update. I don't know, but I feel like a quick menu like that would be key. But overall, it looks kind of sleek. You can't get lost. It's pretty visually there for you. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you very eloquently in one sentence to sum up the PS4. We're not going to put a number on it because I feel that's unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't do numbers no more.
But sum it up in one sentence.
I would say, just from what I played, I thought it was phenomenal. I thought the controller was really well done and how they made all the DualSense stuff work with that demo. It's not the best looking game, but Astro, obviously it's a demo, but I mean, it looked crystal clear. Everything was sharp. And I have an old TV and it looks great. So I can only imagine what it looks like on a 4K TV. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with everything. I had no issues with anything. So every week we'll just keep updating. I'll let you guys know.
Hey,
I think it was a phenomenal experience. Yeah, it's a work
in progress.
But I think it's great so far. I really loved it.
Well, he's here. It's time for a peek in what we affectionately call Stingrays boot. What's nestled between some counterfeit nappies and a dodgy copy of Battlefriend all this week. These are the new release highlights for the week November 9th to November 15th, 2020. Listeners, these are out on digital, physical, or will be by the time this podcast is in your feed, but could be region dependent. What the listeners don't know is Stingray's been waiting outside since the start of the episode. That little beep beep, luckily for us, was in time to let us know he's there. So, Have you picked a mummy?
Yeah. Because I physically.
I feel
already have
awkward
it.
that this is the first week where we haven't done him tearing down the drive. But do you know what? We're just doing things a little bit differently today because why not?
Yeah.
You
So
picked
I
a
got
mummy.
mine. Yeah.
Okay. First out the gates, I should imagine.
Yeah.
Go for it, friend.
It's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, PC, XSX. Well, I said that 4 times fast. PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Stadia. November 10th or the 12th, depending which system you picked it up on. Become
I think that'll probably look best on Stadia.
100%. Actually, Google sent me an email. I can want a free Stadia controller and dongle because I have premium subscription to YouTube.
Don't say that. It's because you're part of this show.
Well, I hit accept.
Oh yes, baby.
Why not? Let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I'm part of the selection.
How much is YouTube Premium a year?
10?
$10 for the year.
Oh no. Well, it's actually I think it's $10 a month. But
what?
Yeah. But in January, Google sent me something where I only paid like $60 for the year, so it runs out January 2nd, 2021. It runs out. So $60 for me, that's not bad. No big deal. But I'm not gonna obviously when it runs out, I'm not paying for it again. I'll just have commercials, no big deal. But it is nice where you could listen to a music playlist and not have to worry about getting interrupted.
Okay.
So, become Eivor, if I said that right, a legendary Viking raider on a quest for glory. Explore England's dark ages as you raid your enemies, grow your settlement, and build your political power. Lead epic Viking raids against Saxon fortresses throughout England. Dual-wield powerful weapons and relive the visceral fighting style of the Vikings. Challenge yourself with the most varied collection of enemies ever found in Assassin's Creed. Shape and growth of your character with every choice you make and carve your path to glory. Explore Dark Age open world from the harsh shores of Norway to the beautiful kingdoms of England. Personalize your experience by growing your clan's settlement. I'm so hyped for this, bro.
You see this book, Bobby? Yeah? This is the rule book. I've thrown it out the window, okay? We're having multiple...
You just missed little Shirley, bro.
We're having multiple... She's not going to need any sugar this week. She's got a rule book embedded in her face. We're having multiple mummies this week because new console eras only come around once in a blue moon. Up next, this is a mummy. Yes.
For every mummy you have,
yes.
Can I do my voice in mummy? Because we didn't get to do it. My new listener voice.
Did we have any new listeners?
No. I want to do it.
I don't know if mummy. I think that's a little bit predatory. Mummy. Oh my God. Okay, why not? It's only this one time though. All right, the Xbox, PlayStation 5, new wave only comes around once every 7 or so years. This isn't a mummy, but I've heard lots of plentiful nice things about it. It's Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Xbox Series X on the 10th of November, PS5 on the 12th. The ultimate Devil Hunter is back in style in the game action fans have been waiting for.
I'm sorry. Okay, up next we have Enlisted, Xbox Series X, November 10th. Enlisted is an MMO squad-based shooter for PC and Xbox Series X in World War II, where you act as infantry squad leader, tank crew, or aircraft pilot. The weaponry, soldiers, uniform appearance, and capabilities of the vehicles in the game are in line with historical facts.
That actually sounds quite cool.
It does.
I don't know if that's free or not, but on watching the gameplay videos, I did think that's actually quite sexy. Up next, out the boot, Evergate is a haunting 2D puzzle platformer. I'm sorry. I've got so giddy throwing that rule back out the window and wounding a small child. I've actually lost my place in the script. Evergate, Xbox Series X, November 10th. Evergate is a haunting 2D puzzle platformer set in a stunning hand-drawn vision of the afterlife. With an original score recorded by a live orchestra, navigate 85 challenging stages and unleash the extraordinary powers of the genre-defining Soul Flame to help a lost soul reincarnate on Earth.
Sounds cool.
This next one is Adam the Artist's Game of the Year.
The Falconer, For PC, Xbox One, November 10th. The Falconer is an open-world air combat game featuring frantic aerial dogfights and deep exploration of the mysterious open world of the Great Yersea.
This next game, I know a lot of people hate on it, but I have to say,
Looks phenomenal.
On next-gen consoles, this looks absolutely phenomenal. I think
if you played this game from a distance from somebody, you might think it's a real game.
But thing is, could you say that about all basketball games over the eras? Like Total NBA on the PlayStation 1 on a small CRT, you might think it was real.
100% no.
You knew it was a good-looking game.
If you knew it was a rectangle guy making a jump shot, that's not what real people look like.
I know, but you're... Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Your perception is warped each time a new generation comes along. If you played Total NBA now, you'd be like, no, well, that doesn't look anything like it. But if you'd have played it back in the day and your dad had walked in, he'd be like, it's just basketball.
No, you're right. You're right.
So could that be leveled at every basketball game? Because basketball games, beyond all others, look absolutely phenomenal on every...
Don't they, though?
They do.
Don't they really try? They try phenomenal. So extra. Bro, they look so good that a tattoo artist sued NBA 2K for putting his tattoo on an arm without asking permission.
Wow.
Because you could see the tattoos.
Like when PS3, I think PS3 specifically launched with an NBA game, and people are going on about, look at the sweat, look at the face. You can't really get any better than this. Then this comes along and it's boom. That looks, I have to admit, this looks more real than any other game
I don't understand what they do, but kudos to NBA 2K.
Voodoo. Anyway, NBA 2K21 out on the Xbox Series X November the 10th. NBA 2K21 out on PS5 November 12th. I'll be getting this in December. I know that for a fact because I'm a sucker for a sports game. And until the new MLB comes along, this will keep me burning. NBA 2K21 is the latest title in the world-renowned best-selling NBA 2K series, delivering an industry-leading sports video game experience. This next one, I would say, is Toby from Aikido Gaming Bar's Mummy Mummy in lieu of him not getting Cyberpunk when he wanted it. So, do you want to go? You want me to read it? Observer System Redo, PC, Xbox Series X November 10th. Grab it for the PS5 November 12th. The year is 2084, so it's technically better than Cyberpunk 2077 because it's set in 2084 and it's out. In a dark cyberpunk... The year is 2084. In a dark cyberpunk world shattered by plagues and wars, become a neural police detective and hack into the jagged minds of others. Make use of anything they felt or thought or remembered to solve the case. Catch the elusive killer. This next one's my Mummy Mummy. My second Mummy Mummy.
Wow, okay, go.
And then the one after that is my third Mummy Mummy.
Woo!
Okay. I don't even care anymore, and I've got at least two more before the end of this readout.
Let's do it, baby.
Planet Coaster Console Edition, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, November 10th. Just hang on there another couple of days. You get it for your PS5, November 12th. Planet Coaster, the future of coaster park simulation games, has arrived. Surprise, delight, and thrill incredible crowds as you build your coaster park empire. Let your imagination run wild and share your success with the world. I've got another Mummy. Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. It's not out on the PS4, I think, until January, but it's out on the PC November 10th. Discover the true power of Rice in Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Take on hordes of demons in side-scrolling combat to reclaim the land's Sakuna. A spoiled harvest goddess, banished to a dangerous island, then return to your mountain village and tend a field full of beautiful rice. What's next, friend?
Tetris Effect Connected for SSX and Xbox One November 10th. Now with all new co-op and competitive online and multiplayer modes, this Tetris like you've never seen it or heard it or felt it before. An incredibly addictive, unique, and breathtakingly gorgeous reinvention of one of the most popular puzzle games of all time. That's a fact.
If you take the next one as well, because obviously the one after that's my Mumsy.
Up next, we got Warhammer Chaos Bane for SXX November 10th and PS5 November 12th. In a world ravaged by war and dominated by magic, you must rise up to face the Chaos Hordes. Playing solo or with up to 4 players in local or online co-op, choose a hero from 4 character classes and prepare for epic battles wielding some of the most powerful artifacts of the old world.
Yakuza Like a Dragon, PC, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One, November 10th. Become Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking Yasuga grunt left on the brink of death by the man he trusted most. Take up your legendary bat and get ready to crack some underworld skulls in dynamic RPG combat set against the backdrop of modern-day Japan. I've got that, the PS4 version, and I'm saving it for the PS5.
Looks good.
Because I'm weird. And plus, I've also got to finish 5 before I launch into another Yakuza game, surely.
Gotta finish them, man. Up next, we got Astra's Playroom.
Is this a mummy for you?
I would say so now. Yeah, I think it's really good.
Don't forget, you're allowed loads now. So
yeah, I know. This is for sure. Everyone should play this game, for sure. From the team behind critically acclaimed PlayStation's VR adventure Astrobot Rescue Mission comes a brand new platformer preloaded on your PS5 console. Explore 4 worlds, each one showcasing innovative gameplay using new and versatile features of the PS5 DualSense wireless controller. The game is free for all PS5 console users and designed to be enjoyed by gamers and families alike.
Looking forward to getting my greasy mitts on that when I can finally wrestle the PS5 out your dirty hands. Is this next one a mummy for you or not?
No.
Okay, Bug Snacks, PC, PS5, PS4, November 12th. It is a free game this month, though, so if you've just got your PS5 and nothing else, you've got Astro Room, you've got Bug Snacks. If you've got the PS Plus membership, you've also got that host of games we talked about at the top of the show. Bug Snacks takes you on a whimsical adventure to Snacktooth Island, home of the legendary half-bug, half-snack creatures. Bug Snacks invited by intrepid explorer Elizabeth Megafig, you arrive to discover your host nowhere to be found, her camp in a shambles and her followers scattered across the island alone and hungry. It's up to you to solve the mysteries of Snacktooth Island. What happened to Elizabeth? What are Bug Snacks? And where do they come from? Most of all, why do they taste so good? This next one, is that a mummy?
Yes, my mummy for sure. We had a friend growing up named Snaggletooth. Up next is Demon Souls, PS5, November 12th.
No, you need to do about 6 of your deep-throated mummies because you said you wanted to do them. I said,
yes.
To hell with it.
Now we're going to do it.
Now you've got to do about 6 of them.
We got Mummy. Demon Souls.
Well, you need to do the mummies for the ones that you didn't do mummies for earlier.
Oh.
So like about 4 mummies in a row?
Okay.
Mummy.
I mean, that's fucking. So up next, we got.
You've just made this show PG-18 for the first time.
Mummy.
And then just fast forward. Up next, we have Demon Souls, PS5, November 12th. From PlayStation Studios and Blue Point Games comes a remake of the PlayStation classic Demon Souls, entirely rebuilt from the ground up and massively enhanced. This remake introduces the horrors of a fog-laden dark fantasy land to a whole new generation of gamers. Those who faced its trials and tribulations before can once again challenge the darkness and stunning visual quality with incredible performance.
79,
really looking forward to this game.
79. If you include the pilot, 80 episodes, not one expletive. I'm going to have to cut that out.
Yeah, just if what you do is, that's why I did the mummy, you just, you should just combine that second clip or just put a sound or just a
Mummy.
over that. No, I don't think anyone wouldn't even know. I feel like I want to jump out the window.
Don't do that, because that book broke its spine and it severed that young girl's head clean open, so we know it's a long way down. Up next, Family Feud. There's going to be a long night in the editing suite where I'm trying to edit in a bleep. Family Feud, PS4, Xbox One, Switch Stadia, November 12th. Feel the thrill of the chase and rush the escape. I'm lost for words. Rush of escape behind the wheels of the world's hottest high-performance cars in Need for Speed. Hot Pursuit Remastered. A heart-pumping, socially competitive racing experience. Pick your expletive noise of choice. What would you like it to be? Like
Mummy.
No, because then we're not going to be able to, people aren't going to realise. And I'll be like, oh, you swore. So I think, you know.
Oh, what about the PlayStation pop, trophy pop? Like a bling.
Okay, maybe I might actually put in the PS2, the whole
Yeah,
PS2 startup noise.
beautiful. And I feel like I'm so embarrassed.
Don't worry.
Up
No,
next,
for a New
this.
Yorker, the fact that you've only let that slip right at the very end of your however many
Yeah,
shows, I think
yeah,
you've done well.
I appreciate it.
Because you greet your own mum with expletives. So
We curse at each other all the time. It's pretty funny. That's how Irish people do it. Um, Up this, I mean, was interested in this game, but now I'm on the brink. But
well,
it's
you'll be able to
possible.
play it on your Stadia.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
no,
So we
hang
got
on a minute.
yeah,
Hang on a minute. I read out Family Feud.
yeah,
And then no one happened to tell me that I was reading out the readout for
yeah.
Need for Speed
I
Hot
was kind
Pursuit.
of shaking my head, but I'm like, you know what? You had to flow, and you don't interrupt the man's flow.
I thought you were shaking your head because you're still feeling shame from dropping an F-bomb.
Yeah, that's shame, but that was more like, oh no, George. Like, no. I mean, I tried to tap you, but you didn't. You didn't.
Okay.
You moved. So, you moved because you're probably mad at me.
I'm
So
not.
up
I
next,
could never be mad at you.
we got
Without you, this show would have been over. So you are like the life raft that the show crawled into when Tom just deserted me. Okay.
So up next, we got Godfall, PC, PS5, November 12th. Godfall is a brand new next-gen looter slasher set in the bright fantasy universe filled with heroic knights and arcane magic. Embark on adventure in a fantasy action RPG that utilizes high-impact third-person melee combat to engage players as they hunt for loot, don legendary armor sets, and defeat vicious enemies facing missions that reward you with head-turning loot as you vanquish the armies that stand against you.
Would you say that was a mummy, or is that not a mummy?
I mean, I really did want it to be, but I'm still gonna get it, I think, but I'm just on the brink if it's my mommy. Like, you know what I mean? If I get it, cool. If I don't get it, okay.
It strikes me as a game that should have been free.
I 100% agree. I feel like, I don't know, something about this game just makes me feel like it's just gonna be grindy, like a free-to-play game for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I wonder if, obviously, I wonder if they're going to get in the habit of doing a PS5 game as part of PSN every single month now. You know, like where we got Bug Snacks now.
That's what they said.
I'm willing to put money on the fact that next month is going to be Godfall.
Oh, it will definitely be up there.
What else can it be?
100% agree with you. Yeah.
Okay, well, up next, it's my I'm all sorts. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales and Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered out on the PS5 and PS4. If you get the PS5 version, November 12th. I'm excited for both of those.
Yeah, me too.
They've reworked both to be of the same universe. In the latest adventure in Marvel's Spider-Man universe, teenager Miles Morales is adjusting to his new home while following the footsteps of his mentor, Peter Parker, as new Spider-Man. But when a fierce power struggle threatens to destroy his new home, the aspiring hero realizes that with great power, there must also come great responsibility. To save all of Marvel's New York, Miles must take up the mantle of Spider-Man and own it.
Up next, we got Metaverse Keeper for the Switch, November 12th. Metaverse Keeper is a dungeon crawler with role-like elements where 5 heroes join forces to save the metaverse. In Metaverse Keeper, you explore randomly generated worlds, customize your weapons, and fight crazy monsters in solo or co-op mode. 5 unique heroes, each with their own special skills, have been called upon by the mysterious government of the metaverse.
I think that we need a roguelike noise for
we do.
Because every week there's a roguelike.
Yeah.
Up next, The Pathless. This isn't a mummy for me, unless it is for you.
Mm-mm.
The Pathless PC, PS5, PS4, November 12th. I wonder if it's going to come to Xbox, because I know Adam the artist is a fan of Abzu. From the creators of Abzu, The Pathless is a mythic adventure of an archer and an eagle in a vast forest, explore an open world and travel to mystical islands to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world together with the eagle companion. Discover the history of the island and fight epic battles to restore light to the land.
Yeah,
Up next,
this looks pretty interesting.
This next one's a mummy for me.
Mummy.
Sackboy, A Big Adventure, PS5, PS4, November 12th. Take Sackboy on an epic 3D platforming adventure with your friends. Iconic hero Sackboy bursts back into breathtaking action with huge fun and frantic 3D multiplayer platforming adventure and a whole new edgy sackitude.
Up next, we got WRC 9 for the PS5, November 12th. The WRC license is back and better than ever this year with WRC 9. Take part in the calendar's 3 new rallies and challenge the community with the customizable league system. Then dive into the skin of a co-driver with astonishing co-op mode.
One thing I would say about that, normally WRC games are used by Sony Interactive Entertainment to showcase graphics. Mm-hmm. I don't think WRC 9, much like Dirt 5, I don't think looks very good graphically at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like I was watching some footage of Dirt 5 last night and I was like, my God, that looks terrible. And I'm not overly blown away by WRC 9. So I'm surprised they didn't decide to use that as an exclusive console pusher. But hey, what do I know? Last one out the boot before we get to the VHSs. We've got Beat Me on Xbox Series X, Xbox One and Switch, November 13th. That's not Beat Meat. It's Beat Me. Beat Me is a physics-based... You're right, Bobby? Bobby? Beat Me is a physics-based multiplayer game for up to 6 players. Challenge your friends locally or beat meats of others over the internet. Beat Me is a physics-based multiplayer game with comical fantasy characters and a wide variety of fun and surprising appendages. Fight against other players, but be aware of your surroundings when you beat meat. Now, I've decided I forget what I picked last week. They all meld into one. I've decided to pick out the boot this week, Alien Resurrection. Not on the PS1, but on VHS.
Okay.
The mighty Stingray. Obviously, the Sigourney Weaver, Winona Ryder platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible. No. I like it all the way to the end when the human alien comes out and thinks that Sigourney Weaver's his mummy and she's like cuddling it. Like, it looks wrong. It looks weird. He looks more perverted than even Beat Meat on the Switch.
I didn't like that at all.
Wow. No. Other than that, all the other parts of it look great. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I know you got to do something different, but not that.
Yeah, that was very odd.
Even when the alien queen was in agony, because it was, normally it lays eggs and then they launch the face huggers. And I thought initially, obviously, when I first saw it, I thought, oh my goodness gracious me, she's in labor. She's going to give birth to a room full of fully grown aliens.
Yeah.
That's going to be, because she was obviously having all the contractions and the alien queen's never had those before. So she was confused. And then she gave birth to that albino man alien.
Mm-hmm.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but when an alien... In the lore, when a facehugger attaches to a dog, like it did in Alien 3, the alien was more dog-like.
Yeah.
When it attached to a human, it comes out looking like the traditional alien that we know. Mm-hmm. So what part of the lore suggested that when the alien queen gave birth to an alien, it would look white and be human-like?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That was a very odd choice.
And also, may I ask, pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was an awkward scene.
And they pilot the ship with the aliens on it into planet Earth, which at the end of the film causes a devastating explosion. Possibly in the future, every single square of Earth, I'd imagine, is inhabited. Yeah. So they save the Earth by wiping out a town or a city or a state. They then pass through re-entry, everything gets hot, but they survive. They look out the window, and Winona Ryder asks the clone Ripley, what next? And clone Ripley says, I don't know. I would say immediate arrest, because there's a massive spaceship has just burst through the atmosphere and imploded on planet Earth. Mm-hmm. You would be launching every tactical fighter you had and US Marine Corps up in space to stop that shit, take the people in as terrorists, charge and arrest them for the crimes they've done, and there'd be a cover-up.
Yeah.
Over what was actually on board the ship.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I'm still getting out of the boot because why not? I'm feeling very 90s. I've been playing Alien Trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
What
I'm
have
gonna
you
pick
got?
A Bronx Tale.
Perfect.
And let me tell you something. A Bronx Tale, not filmed in the Bronx. See, most people think a lot of New York films are filmed in New York. A lot of New York films are not filmed in New York, but filmed in Toronto. But Bronx Tale is actually filmed in our current neighborhood of Astoria.
I love it.
The
Okay.
Joker was filmed in the Bronx, actually in the Bronx, set in the Bronx, filmed in the Bronx. I think the reason why a lot of those films don't really film in New York is because I'm sure whatever fee they got to pay is just astronomical. So they use Toronto as like, and they just take stock footage of New York.
Wow.
So Bronx Tale, yeah.
Okay.
Representing Bada Bingsta Gaming. Bada Bingsta.
Bada bingsta. Well, with that all said and done, Stingrays closed his boot, he's jumped in the car, he's laughed because he's got such a wad of cash from all the mummies we've had, but that's fair enough. And then he giggled to himself because he managed to palm me off with a VHS and you with also an aged VHS. He's probably laughing all the way to the bank, his owed Ray.
100% he is.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Those that paid attention at the top of the show, Odders has been gripping his wheel so tight, he's lost circulation in his fingers. He's got white finger now. That's how hard he's gripped. Relax that grip now, friend. As I ask Swabby, what are you hoping to play?
Literally, probably only Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay, well, it's a big game, so it's going to take some beating.
What
Don't forget to come visit me in Digital Dark Ages Lincoln. Give me a wave.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, I will be playing Val. Thing is, I've got loads of stuff coming, so I'm going to get a little bit sort of cross-eyed because I'm going to be flitting between games. Like
you're really prepared, man.
Caffeine-fed rat.
I got you the Guatemalan coffee, so we're gonna be up.
We're gonna be up. So we got some. Thing is, I'm gonna play Miles Morales with my boy.
That'd be nice.
And my daughter, because we played through the original Spider-Man together, passing the controller around and thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's cool.
So that will be saved for that. So that's going to take me probably a while to get done. But I've got Planet Coaster, which I'm going to have as a bit of a wind-down title. I've got Sackboy, which I'm going to have as a wind-down title. I've got Demon Souls. I've got Valhalla. Got Bug Snacks, obviously. Got Astrobot's Playroom. So there's a whole smorgasbord. I think I'm going to mainly focus on Valhalla first so we can talk about it. And I'm obviously quite intrigued because I'm getting a little bit sort of nostalgic for Lincolnshire now that I'm here in sunny New York.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that will be awesome. Well, I'd imagine that's probably all we've got time for. Don't forget to tune in next week for our Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S review episode in conjunction with Downright Square. If you're not following them on Instagram, make sure you do so. And other than that, I would say that's it. That's all we have time for this week. Listeners, always thank you for your time. We look forward to the pleasure of speaking to you again next week. Until then, remember, happy gaming. There's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller. It's what you do that counts. Oh, and don't forget, Red Bubble, baby. Get yourself a pillow.
Yes.
Unofficial controller podcast pillow.
That's awesome, definitely.
Right. Well, on that note, I'll see you next week, Bobby.
See you next week.
Take care.
Bye.